Good morning. Today's the 29th of January 2024 and I'm going to go through my trading plan for today. Just quickly looking at the news before we start. Nothing of major importance today. I'll go into that in a second, but we have got Fed interest rate decision on Wednesday, so maybe we might see a little bit of sideways action until we get there. Today we've got nothing until 10:30. We've got the manufacturing index, so there might be a bit of movement at 10:30 today, so that's something to bear in mind if you're inside a trade. So on my screen is the MES or the ES index, the S&P 500 index futures. We're looking at the 1 hour time frame, and you can see some of the levels I've had left over from last week. I've been away since Tuesday, so I kind of left my levels in place, and you can see those levels have all come into play. Pretty much spot on. Let's open up my pen. So I was watching 48.95, that area. I may have just moved it slightly today. That was based on the bottoms and tops. And then we can see those levels came back into play on Thursday, got down there. But one thing to note is this trend line which is forming, this upward trend line here. And so I'm kind of going to be watching that area for a bounce today, a potential bounce off of the trend line. Looking for a reversal candle on the 5-minute chart. Also, if we do break below this trend line structure, look for a potential bounce round at 48.95. This area which we've been back to previously. And watch for a bounce at 48.93. In fact, this entire area for a bounce, this entire area actually, I'll be watching for a bounce, a bit of area of support. So that's kind of what I'm watching. For bounces, rejections, hard to reject when market's so strong, and we can just see we're just having this sideways action right now, and we could be just waiting until the Fed decision on the rates happen before we make a move that way or that way. So that's potentially what we could see this week. But I'm watching for a trend entry as well today, so a break and retest above the pre-market high, break and retest. First target can be all-time highs, and then maybe look for another add opportunity. If it breaks the all-time highs, pull back and retest that area for another entry there. So they're my trend entries I'm watching for today. And the other thing will be to watch for a bounce off of this trend line. So I'll be watching around about the area of 49.10, potentially 49.08, 49.09 if we see a bit of a pullback in the market. So I want to go long around here. But then, like I said, I'm watching this area for a potential bounce as well at 48.90 to 48.95. And that's it. That's really my plan today. You can see we've got higher concentrated volume on this volume profile with the VPOC, which is the volume point of control, this orange line coming in around that area there. So I want to see it break through that area, come back, and then retest that area where we had previous volume for a long. So that's it really. I'm just watching for two longs, higher probability longs, break and retest of pre-market, break and retest of all-time highs, and I'm looking for a bounce off the trend line and a bounce off of this previous area of 48.95. And for rejections, the only place I can consider rejection is if we come back up here and make a treble top. But I'll be looking to, if that's the case and I'm in the long, I'll be looking to take profits up here, maybe take a reversal, but I'll be watching for confirmation. So I'll be looking for a higher volume candle on the 5-minute and the 2-minute coming into this area with no follow through, and then a rejection candle. That's kind of what I'll be looking for. That's it really. So let's look at SPY. SPY is the same structure, same setup as well, exactly same play. Break at a pre-market high at 488, break and retest, or I may consider a break and retest off of this trend line as well. In fact, I'll do that the same on MES and ES. So break below pre-market low, break above pre-market high are the two plays. So let's just add that rejection in here as well. If we break below this trend line, then I'll be looking for a break and retest back down, and maybe my first target will be 48.95, will be where I would be looking to get entries. Bounces on SPY, back to SPY again. Bounces on SPY will be this area here, 485, 485.20, 482.90, 482 to 483 is another bounce area, and we've got this daily, the previous all-time highs. This level probably doesn't really mean too much now, but we've got the 200. I'm going to get rid of it, it's not important now. We've got the 200 moving average at 480 as well, so we could be looking for 480 down to about 478 for a bounce as well. But I will do like this level as well, probably around there. Looking at Qs. Okay, yep, so I've boxed in the pre-market high, so break and test above the pre-market high, this level here at 425.35. First target 428.50, second target all-time high if we're long. If we can break down below this area, I quite like this area for a short, so potential bounce, probably higher probability because we're still in an uptrend. We haven't broken down this hourly, we haven't put in an hourly downtrend as such yet. You know, we've got this structure here, we haven't quite broken, we want to break below that. But if we can get below that, pull back in, I'll be looking for a short to ride it down to initially the 200 moving average if we can get there. Looking at NQ next, exactly the same as previously as the Qs. Break above pre-market high for a long entry, got a quicker target there, potential target up here, and then you can't ignore, let's just draw it in, we've got this. Got this channel, we've got this trend line forming as well. So we come into tops, 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 tops. So potentially, let's draw in the next line as well. So let's put these two together as well. We've got this structure setting up. So we've got this potential flag we can watch for. You can say it's a bull flag, and break above that structure is a potential long, or if we break down below this area we could be looking for shorts. So they're the two areas to watch for. So this one here, I do quite like how this is setting up. So watch for a bounce at 17,462, 17, and watch for a break and retest below that area, to break it first, come back up, and then look for confirmation at the same area. And I think that's it really. And obviously if we can get above that area, we can watch for a break and retest. We would have broken the structure as well, so that will add to the confirmation of the pre-market high. And volume wise, we've got a bit of volume down here, a little bit of volume here, which kind of expect coming from these candles. So yeah, so that's all we could watch for really. And what's it look like on Qs? If we've got the same structure we have, so let's just draw that in. We'll probably just do that, and we can just merge it with that. So Qs is looking like it might want to break the structure first, so break below that area we talked about, either for a bounce or a break and retest into that area, which is a bit of a big area we can watch for. First target, if we break down, will be 421.23 area to 421.50 could be the first target. So this kind of watching for break and retest out of this structure, either short or long. So let's go into oil next. I've not looked at oil for a while. Here we go. Looking pretty bullish. I think I've talked about it last week when it broke this area and retested this area here. Was it that area? No, it must have been down here somewhere. But I said it could be a potential long swing, and that proved to be correct. Where was it? I think it was a couple of weeks ago, last week sometime, around this area. When it came back, that's what it was. It came back, broke, came down, it retested this trend line 74 dollars, and it's only gone up since. And there's a couple of areas we could have got in on the retest. So we're still not held above this level. So this is the area we want to watch for. A break and a breakout over previous area. This is an area of supply. Let's get rid of that. Let's put supply in. That area there. So that's what we want. Oh, look at that, it came straight into that area, rejected it. So we want to get out over this area of supply. So looking for a double top up here at 79.50, 79.32 area for a double top rejection. So we can get back up here. That'll be going against the new hourly trend. So we're putting in an hourly uptrend, as you can see here. And this 50 is looking pretty significant as well. We've kind of trailed it for some time, for a week now. So probably right now is actually an area to look for a bounce, where it's come back, retested the previous pivot high, and we're right off the 50 as well. So 74.50 for a higher risk high. That's without confirmation. Or we can watch for a double top at 79.25. And if we can try and find a level to remain bullish, yeah, if we can get over this area, got a bit of a void up. So if we can get to 80, which I've got my alert, it's been there for some time now. If we can break 80, come back and retest that 80 area, then I'll probably be looking for a long entry, probably for a short swing trade or day trade. Looking at gold, gold next. Not doing anything, still sitting within the boxed area we've got on the screen, this area here. So no real play. You can play the range. I don't really play the ranges, but we need it to break out over that area and confirm a new trend. At the moment we're still in a downtrend. We won't be changing trend until we break that area. Let's zoom out of this a bit. Yeah. Okay, so looking at, so there's nothing really on gold for me at the moment. And maybe you can play the bounce back down at 2014, 2010, or the rejection coming up to where it is now, 2040, 2039, that area. But looks like it might be just rejecting. But we can see the volume is decreasing as well. So volume's decreasing as price. Oh, that's the wrong way around. As price levels increasing, so rejection's looking more likely there. M2K, which is the Russell 2000 index. Again, they've got this trend line I put in today. The only level I would consider as a rejection up here, we've already been there twice, so third time won't be as effective. But we could be watching for a break below this structure, basically below 1980, break below, pull back, retest this trend line back down, or watching the pre-market highs, break and retest. We've got a defined target area of 2005 area. So that's all I can see really. Basically today's pre-market high, break and retest long. But we are holding this trend line. And on the grand scheme of things, yeah, we've got to get over. We're definitely bounced off of this area of high volume. So this point of control down here, that's proven to be a little bit of support. And kind of this entire area we need to get over. So break and retest of pre-market high, that's the only one I can see long. And then finally we've got the Dow Jones Industrial. And what I'm seeing here, prefer to see it down in a place like this, but an inverse head and shoulders pattern setting up, neckline here. We broke it, came back down, we're holding that level, so potentially there's a long at 38,250. If we can get, again, pre-market high, if we can get above that, and then we've got a target of Friday's, is that Friday's high? Friday's high, which is all-time highs for the Dow Jones, I think. Yeah. So monthly, so all-time highs. Pretty much, yeah. So all-time highs, that's what we were looking. So we're looking to break that trend. And that's it really. I'm not going to be too focused on these last few stocks. I'm going to be more focused on MES and SPY. Kind of wait, so just go through my higher probability plays before I go. Break and retest of pre-market highs at 49.21, 49.22. Potentially break down below pre-market lows using the trend line as a bounce point. Then there's a bounce on this trend line, which will be at 49.09 area. Depends where we are when we get to it. And then a break of structure either above this area or below this area, and with a few extra bounce points if we ever get down there, 48.95 and 48.73. I think that's it really. Gonna keep it simple. It's my first day back for a few days, so I'm only going to play higher probability setups. So pre-market high, all-time high, possibly to bounce down here if we get down to that area. So I'm going to stick with the trend. Okay, that's it.